You don't have to work for an organization very long before realizing that your interests often collide with those of the organization. You want to dress one way while the organization wants you to wear another way. You'd prefer to show up for work at 9 a.m. while the company expects you to be present at 8. You'd like to receive 50,000 pesos per month for your salary while the company gives you a fraction of that figure. These clash of values can take a serious form as in what is termed a conflict of interest. In business, a conflict of interest arises when employees at any level have an interest in or are parties to an interest in a transaction substantial enough that it does or reasonably might affect their independent judgment in acts of the organization. A conflict of interest causes an employee to experience a struggle between diverging interests, point of views, or allegiances. Conflicts of interest are generally forbidden in company codes of conduct and employee handbooks. Conflicts of interest are difficult to describe in a definition, and they can arise in all sorts of ways and take many forms, so the following examples will illuminate the most common behaviors and action that can fall within it. Bribery often occurs when a person offers money or something else of value to a public official for the purpose of gaining influence over him or her. The purpose of bribery is to exert influence or pressure over the official's actions. Briberies sometimes take the form of kickbacks, a practice which involves a percentage of payment to a person able to influence or control a source of income. It is worth noting that where bribes are condoned, they can have the effect of encouraging employees of an organization to take bribes and thus subordinate the interests of the group to their gain. It is inexcusable that some sectors of the society would accept bribes and kickbacks as natural in the exercise of one's duties. Extortion is a crime in which one person attempts to force another person to do something against his or her will. Extortion is used to force the victim to give property or money to the perpetrator or to take some action, such as giving someone a promotion or voting for something. This is done by threatening the victim's property, person, or loved ones with harm, by intimidating the victim, or by falsely claiming a right. While extortion cases generally must contain some type of threat to the victim, his property, or his family to be classified as extortion, it does not need to involve actual physical injury or relate to any other specific unlawful act. A gift policy provides guidance to company employees about what is and isn't appropriate to accept as a present, offering, advertisement, award, or token of appreciation from a customer, vendor, supplier, potential employee, or potential vendor or supplier. The gift policy states whether employees are allowed to accept gifts both within and outside of the work premises. If a gift is allowed, the gift policy defines the acceptable value and type of gift permissible to employees. Conflicts of interest can be present when employees have financial investment in suppliers, customers, or distributors with whom their organizations do business. It is impossible to say how much a financial investment compromises one's independent judgment in acts for the organization, and most investors would probably agree that getting conflict-free advice from their advisor is not asking too much. The idea that investment or financial advice should put the investor's interests first seems reasonable enough. It is worth noting, however, that since such a policy can affect the financial well-being of those who fall under it, should be subjected to the same free and open negotiations that any form of compensation is. Another major area of conflict of interest involves the use of one's position for personal gain. Cases in this field can range from using subordinates for organization-related work, using one's prominent position within an organization to enhance one's own financial leverage and holdings. Restrictions on using public positions to get something you are not entitled to or to get someone else something they are not entitled to is prohibited. Dealing with conflicts of interest at work can be uncomfortable. You might be unsure of what action you need to take. By laying out clear policies, collecting all the information you need from employees, and having signed documents, you can help prevent conflict of interest situations.